We're Bunahaben. We were established in 1881. So despite being over 140 years old, we're actually one of the youngest distilleries here on Islay. So the only two distilleries younger than us is Kilhaven, which was established in 2005, and Ardnahoe, which was established in 2018. So the name Bunahaben is hard to say, but it's even harder to spell. It's up there on the wall. It's a mess of N's, H's and B's, and that is Gaelic, and it just translates to mouth of the river. And that
Mouth of the river.
Mouth of the river.
Mouth.
Mouth.
Like a
Yeah.
mouth. Yeah.
Mouth of the river.
Mouth.
Yes.
Okay.
That river is the River Margadale, and it's located just over there behind those rocks, and that is where we get our water from. We're the only distillery on Islay to use spring water as opposed to loch water. We are owned by a company called CDH Spirits. If you were here a couple of months ago, you would have been told that we're owned by Distell, a South African wine and cider merchant, but they merged with Heineken, and we're now known as CDH Spirits. So before I take you to the distillery, we just have some health and safety I need to go over. We will be walking on that road there, which is public. So anything may come up or down it. So if any cars or vehicles are travelling past, if we can step into the right and let them go, that would be fine. There isn't any fire alarms scheduled for today, so if one happens to go off, just follow myself and I will escort you to your nearest fire assembly point.
화재 경보가 왜 울리는 건지.
Why are you scheduled to have fire alarm today?
Regular tests to make sure they're working. So they do it once a week at least, just to make sure everything's okay. Once we get to the distillery as well, always be aware of your surroundings. The floor might be a little bit uneven, there may be dangerous equipment, so if we try not to touch anything, and just always be cautious where we're walking. And finally, once we get to the still house, we're not allowed any photography or video in there, and any devices must be put away. I'll remind you once we do get to there, but it is very, very important that we follow that.
Is it for security reasons?
It is for health and safety, because the batteries in your phones and in cameras, if they were to perhaps fall, it could set off an explosion within inside the still house. Just once we get in there, I'll let you know before, just if we could put any phones or devices in pockets or bags until we get back outside. Alright. Okay, so if you guys are ready, I can take
여기서 오크동 직접 다 만드시고 여기서 만든 다음에 여기 필하우스에 들어가서 여기서 이제 위스키를 채우는 일을 한다고 합니다.
여기가 필하우스인가?
네, 여기가 필하우스.
We only have 6 warehouses here on site, and we are only holding about 14,500 casks.
14,000?
Yeah. So most of them are kept on the mainland, just south of Glasgow in a place called East Kilbride. We only have 6 warehouses here on site, and we are only holding about
900톤의 몰트를 저장할 수 있는 총 9개의 이런 몰트 벤트를 가지고 있대요. 이 안에, 사이트 안에만.
So the reason why we have so much storage, more than any other distillery on the island, including Port Ellen Maltings, is because when we got deliveries into this distillery, they all came in via that pier there.
3번은 사용하지 않는 걸로 알고 있는데 맞는 거냐고
We've heard that this pier is not really used for
We
now.
don't use it anymore. 1993 was when the last delivery came in.
지금은 안 하고.
So
But still is the biggest malt reserve here.
we can hold more malt than anyone else on the island. Yeah.
그 궁금한 점이 부나하벤 마크를 보면 이렇게 배의 상징이 있는데 배의 상징 뱃사람이 뭐 만들었다는 얘기도 설도 있는데 혹시 저 항구 때문에 어떻게 보면 부나하벤 마크가 그렇게 된 건지 한번
There's a
읽어주실까요?
logo of Bunahaben. We figured that there's a small boat on the side. Is it related anyhow to the pier?
I mean, it would be because everything would be delivered to the distillery and taken away from the distillery via the pier. But the logo now is just the helmsman up there. So that's the old logo. When he's got his right hand up to his head saluting, but because of health and safety, the logo's been changed to have both of his hands on the wheel.
저건 올드 로고.
The reason we have so much space for malt is because the weather conditions on Islay are very bad, especially here at Bunahaben because we're exposed to winds from the Atlantic Ocean. So we could only get deliveries in at certain times of the year. So when we did, we had to make sure they were worth our time. 700 tons of malt would be delivered here each time.
왜 손을 왜 위험한 거냐고.
Why is it dangerous?
Because he's not in full control of the wheel. So to make it look like he's more safe, both hands on the wheel for more control. So in 1960, we built the roads to this distillery. So before then, the only way in and out of Bunahaben was via the pier. Since 1960, we were able to get trucks in from Port Askaig and Port Ellen. And then in 1993, we stopped using the pier altogether and only use the road now. Alright, so I'll bring you guys over here just now. We'll get out of the rain. There may be parts of the tour where the equipment is very loud. I will try and speak over the equipment, but if you aren't able to pick everything up, just let me know when it gets quieter. I don't mind going over it.
와우.
드디어 입장합니다.
구독, 좋아요, 알림 설정까지.